self from sociological and anthropological perspectives. When we ask the question, "Who am I?" we often think of our personal choices, our inner thoughts, and our unique individuality. But sociologists and anthropologists remind us that the self is never formed in isolation. It is shaped, molded, and continuously reshaped by the society we live in, the culture we inherit, and the relationships we build. In this lesson, we will explore how different thinkers like Cooley, Mead, Goffman, Vygotsky, and others help us understand the fascinating interplay between the self, society, and culture. Charles Horton Cooley introduced the concept of the looking-glass self. He believed that our self-concept develops through reflection like looking into a mirror. But the mirror is not glass. It is other people. We imagine how others see us, and their perceptions become part of our identity. For instance, if a teacher praises a student as intelligent and hardworking, that student begins to internalize those qualities, boosting confidence and motivation. On the other hand, if someone constantly criticizes us, we may start to doubt ourselves. This shows how fragile and powerful perception can be. Think about this. Has someone's opinion of you ever changed the way you saw yourself? Did it inspire you to grow, or did it hold you back? Marcel Mauss deepened this discussion by distinguishing between moi and personne. The moi is our inner identity, our body, our stable sense of who we are. The personne, however, is the social self, shaped by expectations, roles, and cultural norms. Imagine your social media presence. Your moi is reflected in your authentic posts, your true feelings, and your personal updates. Your personne is the curated image you present to followers, the way you engage with others, and the persona you choose to display. Both are real, but they serve different purposes. Do you think your online persona matches your real self, or is it a carefully crafted performance? George Herbert Mead explained that the self develops in stages. As children, we first imitate adults like copying their gestures, words, and behaviors. Then, we enter the play stage, where we learn rules and roles by pretending to be others, like playing teacher or doctor. Finally, we reach the game stage, where we understand society's expectations and learn to coordinate multiple roles at once. This gradual process shows how social interaction teaches us who we are. Reflect for a moment. When you were younger, who did you imitate the most? Your parents, a celebrity, or perhaps a teacher? Erving Goffman took this idea further with his theory of the presentation of the self. He compared life to a stage where each of us is an actor performing roles to control how others see us. At school, you might play the role of the diligent student, while at home, you might be more relaxed or playful. In public, you may present yourself differently than in private. Goffman reminds us that identity is not fixed. It is performed, adjusted, and negotiated depending on the audience. How do your roles differ depending on where you are and who you are with? Lev Vygotsky emphasized the importance of social and cultural interaction in learning. His concept of scaffolding shows that with support from teachers, peers, or family, we can accomplish tasks we could not do alone. For example, a child learning to read may struggle independently, but with guidance from a parent or teacher, they gradually master the skill. This highlights the role of community in personal growth. Who has been your biggest scaffolder? Someone who helped you achieve something you couldn't have managed on your own? Family also plays a central role in shaping the self. The kind of family we are born into, along with the resources available to us, whether human, spiritual, or economic, affects our development throughout life. Children often imitate adult behavior, absorbing values and habits that shape their identity. A child raised in a nurturing environment may grow up confident and resilient, while one raised in a neglectful environment may struggle with self-esteem. What is one trait or value you believe you inherited from your family? Finally, gender is another dimension of the self that is subject to change and development. Society influences how we express gender, but it is also deeply personal and evolving. Over time, cultural views of gender roles have shifted, allowing for more diverse expressions of identity. Where once strict expectations defined what men and women should do, Today, there is greater freedom to define gender in ways that feel authentic. How do you think society's view of gender roles today compares to your parents' generation? In conclusion, the self is not a fixed entity, but a dynamic interplay between our inner identity and the social world around us. From Cooley's mirror to Goffman's stage, from Mead's stages to Vygotsky's scaffolding, we see that who we are is constantly shaped by interaction, culture, and relationships. The ultimate question remains: how much of your identity do you want to be defined by others, and how much do you want to define for yourself? This is the challenge of living in society, balancing the inner moi with the outer personne, and finding harmony between authenticity and performance. Enjoy learning.